Looks like the judge, like we already knew, completely agrees with Cardi B, and the financial sanctions against Tasha K are getting absolutely out of hand. But wait, we have to get into the one specific thing that Tasha actually managed to win. Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello everyone. Hello YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an absolutely amazing, blessed day today. Sending ultimate good vibes, new positivity, and pure healing energy to each and every single one of you watching. Thank you so much for tuning in to the ultimate breakdown. Now, before we blow this whole case wide open, remember, anything I say is completely alleged, and it is strictly in my very, very personal opinion. This is for pure entertainment purposes only, people. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is safely tucked down in the description box, so let's handle some quick meat and potatoes, some basic housekeeping items, and dive straight into the absolute madness. Today, we are talking Tasha K. Today, we are talking Cardi B. Today, we are talking about a multi-million-dollar legal empire completely going up in flames. You guys, things are going up in smoke right before our very eyes, and you won't believe the shocking twist Tasha just pulled off. Looks like the legal system is finally putting its foot down, you guys, because the federal bankruptcy judge just completely slammed Tasha K and her entire legal team in a way we have never seen before. We all knew this day was coming, but seeing it laid out in black and white in these brand new, exclusive court filings is a completely different level of wild. The court officially found this controversial media personality in severe civil contempt of court for repeatedly, intentionally, and continuously violating a court-approved non-disparagement agreement that was explicitly tied to their long-running, multi-million-dollar legal warfare. In a sharply worded, absolutely brutal order that was just filed on Tuesday, the court ruled that Tasha K, whose legal name is Latasha Kebe, did not just bend the rules, she completely shattered multiple provisions of a confirmed bankruptcy reorganization plan that explicitly barred her from making any derogatory, disparaging, or negative public comments about Cardi B. Her government named Belcalis Almanazar, and literally every single member of her immediate family. This brand new verdict marks another devastating, career-altering setback for Tasha K in a bitter, toxic feud that has stretched across multiple years and originally resulted in Cardi B securing a massive $4 million defamation judgment against the blogger. But instead of laying low, instead of counting her pennies and sticking to the legally binding script, Tasha K decided to go rogue. According to the court filing, the non-disparagement clause was not a suggestion. It was a mandatory legal boundary that prohibited Tasha K and any of her associated parties, employees, or production companies from publishing, broadcasting, or communicating any derogatory statements across social media, podcasts, blogs, websites, and other public platforms. And the judge did not stutter, you guys. The court specifically determined that Cardi B's estranged husband Offset and NFL superstar Stefon Diggs, who was explicitly identified in the filing as a co-parent of one of Cardi's children, were fully protected under the order as Almanazar-associated parties. Court documents sent directly to our source from investigative journalist Dennis Byron of the Hip Hop Inquirer state that when Tasha K was confronted with the evidence, she did not even deny making the scandalous posts and broadcasts referenced in Cardi B's emergency motion. No, instead of denying it, this lady actually stood in front of a federal judge and argued that she had a constitutional, legal right to make these highly damaging comments. The court rejected that defense completely, writing in the order that compliance with a confirmed federal court order is mandatory regardless of your intent, regardless of your personal opinion, and regardless of your content strategy. The judge found that Tasha K violated the agreement on no fewer than 25 separate occasions identified across the YouTube, the X, the Instagrammies, the Facebook, the Threads, the Tickety Talk, and multiple radio appearances, including a heavily publicized interview on The Morning Hustle, where she went on a massive tangent discussing details she should have never uttered. As part of this new ruling, the court ordered that Tasha K must at once cease all prohibited commentary and immediately remove every single piece of offending content from any platform she controls. The judge also awarded Cardi B full attorney fees and costs connected to monitoring and enforcing compliance with the agreement, meaning every single motion Cardi's legal team filed, every single hour they spent watching Tasha's videos, and every single cent of their massive retainer will have to be paid directly out of Tasha K's pockets. And in another stunning, absolutely unbelievable wrinkle, the court also heavily sanctioned Tasha K's attorney, Chad T. Van Horn, after severe citation errors and completely fabricated legal filings were flagged by Cardi B's high-powered legal team. The judge ruled that the attorney's mistakes failed to meet the basic, required legal criteria of a federal court and imposed additional financial penalties equal to 10% of Cardi B's reply-related legal award. Now, this is where the plot thickens, you guys, because we have to talk about how we got to this exact point of total legal and financial destruction. Tasha K has built an entire media empire based on pulling back the curtain on the elite, exposing the darkest secrets of the entertainment industry, and delivering what she calls the unfiltered truth. But there is a very fine line between investigative journalism and a personal, obsessive vendetta. For years, the public watched as Tasha K dropped video after video targeting Cardi B, making extreme allegations about her health, her marriage, her fidelity, and her past. It was a strategy that brought millions of views, hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and an immense amount of digital influence to her platform. The monetization checks were rolling in, the merchandise was selling, and Tasha felt completely untouchable behind her studio microphone. She genuinely believed that the digital space was the Wild West, a place where traditional defamation laws simply did not apply to independent bloggers. When Cardi B first retaliated with cease and desist letters, Tasha K openly mocked them on her channel, famously indicating to her audience that she could use those legal notices as toilet paper. That level of hubris is exactly what set the stage for the original multi-million-dollar defamation lawsuit. During that historic trial, the world watched as Tasha's entire defense crumbled on the witness stand. Under intense cross-examination, she was forced to admit that she had absolutely no credible sources, no verified documentation, and no evidence to back up the wild claims she had spread to millions of people. The jury saw right through the performance and handed down a staggering $4 million verdict. That should have been the end of the story. Any normal person would have deleted the channel, issued a public apology, and figured out a way to quietly pay off the debt. But Tasha K is not a normal creator. She operates on controversy, and instead of settling the matter, she initiated a high-stakes shell game by filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. The bankruptcy filing was a calculated chess move designed to halt Cardi B's aggressive collection efforts. Cardi's legal team was already moving to garnish Tasha's YouTube revenue, seize her bank accounts, and place liens on her property. By entering bankruptcy court, Tasha bought herself time and forced Cardi B to sit down at a negotiation table. That negotiation is where the $1.2 million repayment plan was established. Cardi B agreed to slash the debt significantly, allowing Tasha a manageable pathway to clear her name. But that massive discount came with one incredibly strict, non-negotiable condition, the non-disparagement clause. The court made it crystal clear that Tasha K was receiving a multi-million-dollar break on the condition that she completely wipe Cardi B's name from her vocabulary. It was a legal gag order tied directly to her financial survival. Yet, the moment Tasha K got back behind her microphone, the temptation of the viral algorithm proved to be way too strong. She realized that without discussing the biggest names in pop culture, her views began to dip. The audience wanted the drama, the comment section was demanding the tea, and Tasha simply could not resist the urge to drop subtle hints, subliminal disses, and outright allegations about Cardi B's personal life, her crumbling relationship with Offset, and her interactions with Stefon Diggs. She thought she was being clever by using code names, changing her tone, and hiding behind the word alleged, but Cardi B's legal team was sitting in the shadows, recording every single second, transcribing every single stream, and documenting every single violation to present to a judge who was already running completely out of patience. The legal team representing Cardi B was not just casually monitoring the situation, you guys. They were operating like a full-scale corporate intelligence agency, tracking every single digital footprint Tasha K left across the entire internet. They compiled a massive, ironclad binder filled with time-stamped video clips, audio transcripts, social media screenshots, and metadata that proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that the blogger had zero intention of respecting the federal court's authority. When they marched back into the bankruptcy court with this mountain of undeniable evidence, the judge was visibly appalled by the absolute lack of respect for the judicial process. Tasha K's defense strategy during this emergency contempt hearing was an absolute train wreck, to say the least. Her legal team attempted to argue that the non-disparagement clause violated her First Amendment rights, and that as a digital journalist, she had a protected duty to report on public figures and celebrity scandals. But a federal bankruptcy judge is not a social media jury, you guys, and they do not care about clout, views, or subscriber counts. The judge completely dismantled that argument in the written order, pointing out that Tasha K had voluntarily, knowingly, and legally signed away her right to comment on Cardi B in exchange for a massive $2.7 million reduction in her original civil judgment. You cannot take the financial benefits of a settlement agreement and then completely ignore the behavioral obligations that come with it. The court made it clear that a contract is a contract, and when that contract is officially confirmed by a federal judge, violating it is a direct act of defiance against the United States legal system. This is exactly why the judge slapped her with the civil contempt ruling, which is one of the most serious marks a debtor can receive during an active reorganization plan. But the financial bleeding for Tasha K does not even stop at her own penalties, because we have to talk about the absolute disaster that occurred with her defense attorney, Chad T. Van Horn. In a move that has left the entire legal community completely stunned, Cardi B's high-powered lawyers noticed something incredibly shady when they were reviewing the opposition papers filed by Tasha's team. They discovered that Tasha's attorney had submitted legal briefs containing multiple citation errors and completely fabricated, non-existent case law. In the legal world, this is the ultimate sin. It usually happens when a lawyer uses an unverified artificial intelligence tool to write their legal motions without double-checking the facts, resulting in the system completely hallucinating fake precedents to support the argument. Cardi's team immediately flagged this to the judge, exposing the fact that the defense was relying on entirely fictional legal criteria to justify Tasha's continuous cyberbullying. The judge was so incredibly furious about this lack of professional conduct and systemic incompetence that he took the incredibly rare step of sanctioning the defense attorney personally. The court ruled that these bogus filings failed to meet the mandatory legal standards of a federal platform and ordered Chad Van Horn to pay a personal financial penalty equal to 10% of whatever total legal fees Cardi B is ultimately awarded for this entire contempt motion. This means Tasha's own lawyer is now financially on the hook because of his association with this hot mess express of a case. It sends a massive shockwave through the entire situation because it proves that anyone who steps into the arena to defend Tasha K's continuous obsession with Cardi B is going to end up facing severe professional and financial ruin. Now, let's look at how the public, the industry, and the streets are reacting to this latest courtroom bombshell, because the internet is completely divided, and the conspiracy theories are flying at an all-time high. On one side of the coin, you have Cardi B's massive fan base, the Barty Gang, who are absolutely throwing a celebration party across all social media networks. They are saying that Tasha K is finally getting the exact karma she deserves for trying to destroy a young black woman's career and family structure for digital profit. They are flooding Tasha's comment sections with endless streams of bird emojis, laughing memes, and reminders that she still owes millions of dollars to a woman she tried to ruin. The general public consensus among mainstream music fans is that Cardi B has shown an incredible amount of patience throughout this years-long saga, and that she is fully justified in using her immense wealth and legal power to permanently silence a blogger who refused to leave her children and family alone. But on the flip side of the coin, within the independent blogging community and certain hip-hop circles, there is a very dark, dangerous narrative starting to brew. Multiple anonymous sources, industry insiders, and rival commentators are whispering that Cardi B's aggressive legal strategy is starting to look less like self-defense and more like a systematic, corporate abuse of power designed to completely eliminate independent media. Some creators are coming out anonymously, stating that they are absolutely terrified to even utter Cardi B's name on their channels anymore, because they fear they will receive $1 million lawsuit in their mailbox the very next day. There are unverified reports circulating behind the scenes that several high-profile urban blogs have received quiet warnings from legal representatives to completely purge any negative content regarding Cardi B, Offset, or their extended families from their archives. The rumor mill is spinning completely out of control, with people claiming that major record labels and mainstream media conglomerates are actively working hand in hand with high-powered law firms to create a dangerous legal precedent. The theory is that if they can completely bankrupt and legally muzzle a massive independent platform like Tasha K's Tasha K Live, they can effectively control the entire narrative surrounding celebrity culture. Critics of Cardi's strategy are arguing that using a federal bankruptcy court to enforce a permanent gag order on a public media personality sets a terrifying example for freedom of speech in the digital age. They are asking where the line is drawn. If an independent commentator cannot discuss a highly public, multi-million-dollar celebrity divorce between two global superstars like Cardi B and Offset, then what exactly can they talk about without risking total financial liquidation? While the public debate rages on, the actual financial reality behind closed doors for Tasha K is reaching an absolute crisis point, according to leaked financial reports and insider breakdowns. People are whispering that despite her brave face on camera, her media company is in a total state of operational panic. The constant legal fees, the expert witness retainers, and the endless stream of court-ordered sanctions have completely drained her primary business accounts. There are rumors swirling that her production staff has been quietly downsized, her studio upgrades have been completely halted, and she is scrambling to find alternative sources of income that fall outside the immediate jurisdiction of the bankruptcy trustee. Insiders claim that the stress of the situation is causing immense tension behind the scenes, as every single video she uploads now has to be meticulously screened by a revolving door of legal advisors who are terrified of another multi-thousand-dollar violation. What makes this entire situation even more complicated is the fact that Cardi B's legal team is not just playing for small fines. They're going for the absolute juggernaut move that could end Tasha K's career permanently. Cardi's main attorney, Lisa Moore, has already signaled that their next step is to officially petition the judge to completely throw out the $1.2 million bankruptcy settlement agreement altogether. If the judge grants that specific motion based on Tasha's continuous, repeated civil contempt and bad faith behavior, the entire repayment plan will vanish into thin air. The legal shield of Chapter 11 protection will be completely obliterated, and the judgment will automatically revert right back to the original, staggering $3.9 million debt. If that original amount is reinstated, Cardi B will have the immediate legal authority to seize everything Tasha K owns, from her physical assets to her digital properties, turning this entire legal war into an absolute fight for survival. The threat of having that original $3.9 million judgment reinstated is hanging over Tasha K's head like a heavy dark cloud. You guys. But amidst all of this financial and legal devastation, we have to look closely at the specific detail where Tasha managed to secure a minor victory. In the middle of this massive courtroom bloodbath, Cardi B's legal team dropped a major motion asking the judge to implement a system of prospective, automatic monetary fines. Cardi B wanted the court to set up a legal trapdoor, an automatic trigger mechanism where if Tasha K even murmured her name, posted a slick sub-tweet on the X, or uploaded a single shady video on the Instagramies in the future, a predetermined financial penalty would automatically be deducted and awarded to Cardi B without needing any further hearings. Cardi's team argued that because Tasha has a documented history of being a repeat offender who openly mocks the legal system, this preventative measure was the only way to protect Cardi B's family from continuous defamation. But the federal bankruptcy judge looked at that specific request and said, absolutely not. The court officially denied Cardi B's request for automatic subsequent monetary penalties, drawing a very distinct line in the sand. The judge explained that under the standard rules of civil contempt, the court cannot hand out blanket, automatic future punishments for violations that have not even occurred yet. Every single alleged violation of a confirmed bankruptcy reorganization plan deserves its own day in court, its own evidentiary review, and its own individual defense. What this means in plain terms is that Tasha K won a massive sigh of relief because she successfully avoided a legal muzzle that would have automatically drained her bank accounts every time she opened her mouth. If Cardi B wants to penalize Tasha K for any future slip-ups, she cannot just call up the court trustee and demand a check. No, Cardi B is going to have to manually hire her lawyers, pay their retainers, gather the video transcripts, file a brand new motion, and drag Tasha K back to the courthouse for a full hearing every single time she feels a violation has taken place. This minor victory is a crucial lifeline for Tasha K's media brand because it allows her to keep a small amount of leverage in this toxic ecosystem. If the judge had granted those automatic sanctions, Tasha K Live would have been functionally dead overnight. Any rival blogger or internet troll could have flagged her videos, and the court would have systematically stripped away her earnings without a secondary thought. Instead, the judge issued a stern, final warning to Tasha, stating that while automatic fines are off the table, new, highly severe sanctions will absolutely be imposed if her disparaging behavior continues to manifest across the internet. It is a classic good news, bad news scenario for the blogger. The bad news is she is legally cornered, her content strategy is completely crippled, and her lawyer's reputation is in absolute tatters because of those fictional citation errors. The good news is she still controls the keys to her platform, and she has a final chance to pivot her content away from the danger zone before the entire structure collapses on top of her. The massive question now lingering over the entire digital entertainment space is whether Tasha K can actually handle this level of restriction. Her entire business model, her comedic timing, and her viral appeal have always relied on pushing the envelope and saying the exact things that mainstream media outlets are too terrified to print. When you strip away the ability to discuss global megastars like Cardi B, when you legally bar her from mentioning Offset's alleged high-stakes casino incidents or Stefon Diggs' co-parenting dynamics, you are essentially asking an investigative commentary channel to operate with both hands tied behind its back. Leaked discussions from industry circles suggest that Tasha is already looking into major rebranding strategies, focusing her investigative lens on international influencer drama, political scandals, and corporate corruption cases that carry far less personal legal risk. But her core audience is incredibly messy, you guys, and they tune in specifically for the celebrity tea, meaning a shift to more traditional journalism could cause a massive decline in her monthly viewership and digital ad revenue. At the exact same time, Cardi B is showing absolutely zero signs of letting up on this crusade. Insiders close to the rapper's camp claim that Cardi views this continuous legal battle as a matter of personal honor and maternal protection. She is completely fine with spending millions of dollars on premium law firms because she wants to send a definitive, permanent message to the entire blogging industry that her children and her marriage are completely off limits. The multi-million-dollar defamation victory in 2022 was just the first phase. This current enforcement phase is about proving that a celebrity with unlimited resources can completely dismantle an independent creator who steps over the line of verified truth. Cardi's legal team is playing the long game, watching Tasha K's channels like a hawk, waiting for the exact moment she slips up again so they can finally pull the trigger on throwing out the bankruptcy protection completely and executing a full asset seizure. This entire situation has officially degenerated into an absolute game of digital chicken, where the first person to blink lose everything they have spent their career building. Tasha K is standing on a very thin layer of ice, holding onto her platform by a single thread thanks to this minor courtroom when regarding automatic fines, while Cardi B is holding a multi-million-dollar legal hammer right above her head. The fallout from this civil contempt ruling is going to reshape how independent media personalities cover celebrity culture for the next decade, proving that the word alleged can no longer be used as a magical shield to escape the real-world consequences of federal law. Whether Tasha K chooses to finally humble herself and follow the strict boundaries of her repayment plan, or whether the urge to chase the next viral headline drives her to commit a 26th violation, is a saga that is far from over, and the entire internet is sitting on the edge of its seat waiting for the next explosive update. And that is the absolute, chaotic reality of where this multi-million-dollar showdown stands today, you guys. A total hot mess express that is far from over. But now, I need to hear directly from all of you. Do you think Tasha K is going to finally learn her lesson after this brutal civil contempt ruling? Or is it only a matter of time before she slips up and faces that massive $3.9 million hammer? Is Cardi B completely justified in using her massive wealth to protect her family? Or is this starting to look like a dangerous shutdown of independent media? Drop your thoughts, your theories, and your predictions down in the comment section below. Let's really get into it. Before you hop off, please do not forget to unleash, hype this video. Smash that like button, share this breakdown with your friends, and subscribe to Anonymous T. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you are instantly notified the exact second we drop the next massive breaking update on this legal war. Thank you all so much for tuning in, sending you endless blessings and amazing energy. I'll talk to you guys again very soon.